Hi, it's Dr. Jenny, and in this video I want to talk about a question that I get a lot, and the question is a thyroid disorder a hereditary condition? Meaning that do genetics play a part in this? If my mom had a thyroid issue, my grandmother, my sister, my cousin, should I expect to potentially struggle with thyroid issues? And I think to answer that in a general way, here is what I have learned from years of studying genetics and lifestyle and those effects that they have on health, is that most of the health that you see expressed is a result of your lifestyle. I believe, and other experts in the functional medicine field would agree with this, that about 90% or even a little bit more than that of the health that you're expressing at any point in time is a result of your lifestyle and the choices that you're making. And another 10% of that is affected by genetics and predisposition for things. So does it play a part? I think absolutely yes, genetics do play a part. But the good news is that the choices that you make, good news or bad news, depending if you make good choices or not, the good news is that if you make good choices, you can compensate for faulty genetics. So let's talk about it a little bit more. And I wrote a more significant amount of information in my blog. So drjeni.com, drjeni.com will take you to that blog where you can read a little bit more if you're looking for a lot of more detailed information. But the gist of it is that, like we said, 90% is lifestyle, around about 10% is genetic. And when you talk about the thyroid, 90% of the time when someone experiences a thyroid slowdown, it has an autoimmune component to that. So where genetics come in is that you may be predisposed to have an autoimmune condition. But there are certain triggers, and these are lifestyle things that have to show up for that autoimmunity to express itself. And let me give you some really common triggers. The first one is gut dysfunction. Very, very prevalent and very key to autoimmunity developing. If you develop a situation where your gut lining is leaky instead of tight like it should be, then you end up setting the stage and making it more likely that you end up with an autoimmune condition, because now things are leaking through the gut lining, they're making it into the bloodstream, they get picked up by your immune system that starts to go, oh, we need to go into hyper attack mode and break these things down that shouldn't be in our bloodstream. And unfortunately, there are a lot of things that look like some of the glands in your body, like your thyroid gland. And that's where not consuming the foods that trash the gut and are hard on the gut, that's really important. And knowing what the status of the gut looks like, so that if it needs some work and some repair, we can fix that. So that's kind of the first piece of that. And there's, like I said, I could speak on this for 2 days. And if you want a little more information, it's all outlined in the blog, because food allergies and sensitivities and those kinds of things will play into that with the gut dysfunction. And then the second piece of the puzzle that comes into play here is stress. Stress is a huge trigger for autoimmunity. It tanks out the adrenal system. It gets overworked. We can do that. And we know stress is a huge problem on so many levels for so many reasons, and autoimmunity is no different. It's not good. It's not good for autoimmunity. The other very common trigger that we see a lot are toxins that come from. It can be anything, and we are just exposed to, whether it's chemicals in medications or foods or all kinds of things that we can create damage to that too. So we've kind of got this this perfect storm with the question of whether thyroid issues are hereditary or not. Is that yes, in the sense that if you have a genetic predisposition, there's nothing you can do about that. The groundwork is laid, but the good news is that over 90% of it, or around 90% at least, is something that you can control with your lifestyle. You reverse the triggers and take those out of the equation, and then you can put that condition, it would be the correct terminology would be putting that condition into remission. Because if you have an autoimmune condition and you've been diagnosed and it's flared up and all that kind of stuff, then there's no real cure. You wouldn't say that, but what you do is you reverse the triggers, and then you no longer express the genetic predisposition that you have. So I hope that that answered your question if you're watching this video and gave you some good food for thought.